XFM 98.3 right there. That was Kodak featuring How, Omar Musa and El Fresh, the Lion Chew, called The Bangura Box. Hope you were feeling that one. And before that we heard Days and Flawless, Rome Wasn't Built in a Day, Money Cat with Each Footstep. We heard Haid with Flipper Deck, Danos, Dion and Brett Super, tune called Belko Militia. Reason and Briggs featuring Pegs and Miss Brown. Before that, Us vs Them and Death Wish Cast at the top, tune called All Stars. We're talking Rhyme Intervention 5 tonight on The Antidote, and I've got a whole bunch of people involved in the show who are also performing in the studio with us. And we were talking in the last mic break, before playing music from a lot of the artists who are on the bill, a little bit about how this is the 5th version of Rhyme Intervention, and it's been going, I can't even remember what when was
2003. I think it was 2003 or
2003. Yeah,
it's crazy. 9 years.
And what venue was that? The first one?
The Green Room in Woden.
Yeah.
It was sort of as Territory Sessions was dying out.
It was sort of starting then.
Was it?
It was in the same year. It was around when it started. Yeah.
Just trying to refresh my memory.
Yeah. I think it was in about April or something.
Yeah,
2003. Yeah. I got the flyer. And
so,
sort of around Territory Sessions time.
It was just around those days when everyone was at the Green Room. It started off with only, I think there's 3 or 4 acts.
Yep.
And then it was a successful show, got a good turnout and everything. I think it was raising money for cancer.
We need Goldfinger here.
Yeah, it was raising money for cancer.
Always been for the Cancer Council.
So it's always been for the cancer. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't think you were 18.
And I
Then
think
you were like 16 or something. Whatever. You're 10.
And the first one was started up by Danos.
It was Dan. Yeah, it was Danos. Yeah.
And he kicked off the first one in 2003, and I think did the next few, didn't he?
Dan did it as a CIT project for his. He was studying at Woden CIT.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm trying to get the course he was doing.
Sound production.
Yeah, sound production course. So he started off originally as a
just started off as a project.
Yeah, it's a school project for a good cause, and it's kind of all snowballed from there. And
sort of how we all know each other actually. Like how I know Ro and you guys, and sort of everyone sort of started from those days. Canberra Hip Hop's been alive for a long time.
And I don't think there was like an intention to make it keep going, but it's just sort of naturally grown each time we've put it on, and each one's getting bigger and bigger. So
yep. And I mean, it's sort of it's nice to talk back to those days, because that was around that time when Green Room in Woden was really supporting this type of music in Canberra. There was those Territory Sessions. Makes me think back to all the beats to the rhyme, back when Toast was still in full effect happening, and they were beer battles. They were putting on
even Holy Grail. We were doing battles at Holy Grail and Academy and shit.
And before Transit, it was called something else, and that's when they had the DMCs on there. And I mean, Buick, took out a couple of the DMCs. There was the venue back in Monica where the T-Rex played at. I can't even remember. Anyway,
that were the days.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, I guess the reason why the context I'm trying to make here is that it's been a long time since there's been a event or something in Canberra that's been going on as long as Rhyme Intervention has.
That's it. Yeah.
It's one of the longest running sort of gigs and of events, but even though it's sort of spread over a number of years and hasn't been as constant as some of those other ones we were talking about, it's one that sort of has lasted and stayed around. Why do you reckon that is?
I don't really know, but I guess if you think like Metal for the Brain, remember Metal for the Brain, which is a similar thing for like
it's like a
brain
hip-hop
damage.
version of that.
Yeah, I think that was sort of idea that Dan and that had as well, was like make it like a hip hop Metal for the Brain sort of thing. So yeah, and everyone sort of got behind it and it's still here.
Yeah, well, Metal for the Brain was the same concept, but
same concept.
Yeah, it's bands raising money for Cancer Council ACT, and
they did heaps all around like 10 years or something, and they were getting like interstate acts by the end of it, and I guess that's sort of the goal.
Yeah,
and Rhyme Intervention,
That's one of the good things about it, is it sort of caters to the new guys coming up, and more, it's got the classic acts like Reason and and Death Wish cast who have been around over the years.
Yep.
And then you've also got the young guys who are coming up. So it's just a good balance of all different ages.
For sure. And I mean, I guess one of the other things for those of you listening out there, and for those of us in the studio at the moment, this event, you know, comes at a time when, you know, the hip hop community in Australia has recently lost and is losing. You know, there's more people who are sick. You know, more legends that are sick at the moment. And you know, recently, of course, Hunter, one of the true originators of one of the original cats in hip hop music scene in Australia, has recently lost his battle with cancer, and there's been a real outpouring of support before his passing and afterwards, you know, to support not only his musical legacy, but to support his family and those people who are, you know, going through this. And it's nice to see a community, a musical community, coming together to unite, to get behind sharing that message. And there's been a CD put out,
Canteen one,
the Canteen CD, and there's a documentary coming on Hunter. So, you know, the Rhyme Intervention 5 is more than timely to be happening at this time to help supporting and getting that message out about, you know, cancer. I mean, we all know about it, we all hear about it, but it's nice that, you know, music such a positive thing as music can get behind that.
And that's the best way to sort of think of it. You know, it's $48 a ticket, but it's really donating $50 to come and see just an awesome lineup of hip hop music. So
that's exactly right. So tell us just again when it's all popping off, and run through the lineup.
So September 8th at UC in Bruce. Main acts, we've got Reason and Briggs, Death Wish Cast, Disaster and Layla, Checkmate and Nuisance, Swarmy, Mind Over Matter, Omar Musa, Words of You, Alike Minds, Maggot Mouth and Guts, Two Terrible Tablers, State of Mind, Flawless, Smash Brothers, Elfresh the Lion. You want to drop some? I'm running out of breath.
Yeah, it saved me with all the end dudes, just DJs.
Start
BRB. And I think BRB, I don't know him personally, but I think he's had battles with cancer and stuff as well. So
yeah, he has. He was in the studio a couple of weeks ago. So
so there are a lot of people involved with this one, you know, who've been affected by it, and even just people who have family and stuff involved with it. So.
Yeah, that's right. We all know somebody, I guess.
Well, that's it.
And just even for Hunter, like he's the most. He was on point. Like I'm gonna be hearing that joint. I'm a cunt.
Yeah,
2000 or back in the day, and that was the shit that made it go,
wow. People out there listening, that is actually the song title.
That's the name of the song.
And he's allowed to say that.
Yeah, and like that was so it made me want to rhyme, like
just the
natural accent and all that.
Done Deal had.
Yep.
It was massive. So,
yeah, definitely.
Which I think was a big part of the reason Disaster and Layla was so keen to get on board. I think as soon as Dion mentioned it, they were like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
and we also we got like
I mean the lineup just goes on and on. It's just
not quite as many as Big Day Out, but almost.
What'd you say? 5 less?
Yeah, it's only a couple.
Come on, man. How much is a Big Day Out ticket?
It's
like $150 or whatever they are now.
So yeah, September 8th, Rhyme Intervention 5, UC, $50 a ticket. You can get them on moshtix.com.
Excellent. Well, we'll come back and talk to you guys a little bit more before we finish up the show. Going through till 11 o'clock this evening. This is the Antidotes on 2XX 98.3 Community Radio in Canberra. We're going to hear a tune right now from an album called Keeping It Breezy from Mind Over Matter. When they were very young, by the looks of it, I think they're looking a bit more grown up these days. This is a tune that they wrote called Proud on 2XX.